Okay, today I'm going to do a video on what I believe is the best handgun built today, in my opinion. I know other people are going to disagree with this, some might agree with it, but the primary weapon that I carry with me when I'm able to carry this is a SIG 229. This gun to me is perfection. I've never had one problem with this firearm. I just love it. Everything about this gun I like. Anybody out there who's ever shot a SIG, they're nice guns. I mean, nobody can dispute this as being one of the best firearms in the world. I mean, there may be other guns out there that are better, and I've shot a lot of firearms in my time. I mean, just about every kind of handgun there is, but to me, I love this gun. Yeah, it's a little big, it's kind of bulky, but I really enjoy it. I like shooting it. It's accurate. And like I said, I've never had one problem. And I've probably fired thousands of rounds through this gun. I've never had an issue with it. Not one issue, ever. It's never jammed. It's never malfunctioned. And what I try to tell people when they ask me if they want to buy a handgun, and people come to me about that, is first off, I try to see what their budget is. And if people say, well, money's not an issue, then I point them in this direction. Because to be honest with you, SIGs are pricey. I will not say they're a cheap gun. They're not. They are very expensive to purchase one. This gun here is probably about, if you buy one new with the nice sights and the rail, probably about $1,000, maybe a little more. But like I said, what you're buying is something that is very high quality that does not fail. I've never seen one fail. I mean, I really like this gun, and that's what I like about it, is the reliability. If I'm carrying something, I want something that I know is going to work, and this gun works. I mean, it just flawlessly every time, no matter what I feed to it, it never ceases to function as it should. This particular model here is, I believe the designation is 229R because it's got the rail and night sights on it, but comes with a 12 round magazine. That's the other thing about SIGs. If you buy one, prepare yourself, because to buy other components for them, they're pricey, especially their magazines. Their magazines can be a little bit on the pricey side to some other manufacturers. That being said, it's an excellent platform. I mean, this is my favorite gun. I've got guns, I got favorite rifles or whatnot, but for handguns, this right here, this is what I always try to carry with me. Sometimes, depending on what I'm wearing, I'm not able to conceal this very well. Like I said, it's kind of a big, bulky gun for what it is. It's a double stack, so it's a little wider. I pulled off the factory grips. I put some Hogue grips on it because, I got bigger hands. I like a good, thick grip for me. That just works for me. The other thing about a SIG that you're going to notice is there's no safety on it. I mean, there's really, the closest thing to the safety that this gun has, I guess you could say, is the decocker. But there's no safety. So if you carry this gun, keep that in mind. There's no safety on it. And that's another feature I like, though, is if I ever have to draw this weapon, I know it's ready to go. I ain't got to fumble around, try to turn something off or switch something off and get it in a firing mode, because it's always in a firing mode. It's single double, the trigger is really nice. It's crisp on it. It's got a crisp break on it. Not a lot of trigger pull, but it's just a nice gun. About the only thing I've done to this gun is I did polish the feed ramp a little bit on it, but other than that, I've not done anything to it besides the grip. Like I said, it's got the night sights, which I really like. I mean, it's really good in low light conditions. You can acquire it very well. I mean, it's got the three dot system on it, but they're pricey. I mean, if you're looking for a budget gun and you're looking for something to get in to start shooting, this probably isn't for you. Now, if you want to get into shooting and you're serious about it and you want a gun that's going to last you for your entire life, definitely spend the extra money. And I just, people ask me and I tell them, well, what do you want to spend? I mean, I have a daughter-in-law that she went out and bought a High Point, and I could not believe how big and bulky that gun was. And I was reading through the instruction manual to find out how to disassemble it, and you got to punch a pin out of the gun just to get the slide off. And it wasn't very reliable. I mean, it was probably better suited as a paperweight, and I shot it and I could not just could not get used to that gun. Just the sheer weight of the thing was unbelievable. But she didn't even pay $200 for it. And that's why I tell people, you do get what you pay for in firearms. Me personally, if I'm going to carry something that I want to use that's going to defend my life, I want to get something that I know is not going to fail. And the other gun I carry, a lot of the times I'll carry a 380 Beretta or a 380 Bersa. And the reason I carry those is, yeah, I don't have a lot of money into either of those guns, but the thing I like about them is those also have never failed. So I like a firearm that performs good. Price, regardless of price, if it's not going to work right, what's it matter? If you spend $2,000 on a handgun and that it jams up and it doesn't operate properly like it should every time you pull the trigger, what good is it? This gun is more pricey, they are expensive, but they are reliable. And from what I know, Secret Service carries these, FBI carries these are a government issue for a lot of different agencies, and probably so for a reason, because they work so well and they last. I mean, this gun here, I believe, was manufactured in 1994. I mean, I've had this gun a long time. I mean, this was one of the first handguns I ever bought. And it's just, it always works. It's never failed me. It's never failed. Every time I've pulled the trigger on this gun, it has fired. I've never had an issue with this firearm. But you have to balance that out with what you want to spend as compared to how good a quality you want to get. And to me, a SIG is the highest of the quality you can get. There's higher end guns out there. There's more expensive handguns out there. But what are you really getting? I mean, are you gaining that much more by spending that much extra? On this, I believe you are. Because I believe in these guns. I'll push a SIG all day long because I believe in them. And like I said, this is the primary weapon that I carry every day when I can. Some days I can't. But especially in the winter months, this is always strapped to my side. Always have it with me. I never leave home without it. And even a lot of times when I carry the smaller frame guns, I still keep this in the vehicle with me. So I bring this to people's attention because this is a gun I believe in, and I don't push stuff unless I believe in it, unless I've actually used it. And all the guns in all my videos that I do, I've fired them, I've tested them, and I give honest appraisals of how they work. I'm not going to pull anything on them. I'll tell you the good points and the bad points. This gun here, I can't find no bad points to it. Some people like having a safety on their weapon, and that can be a downside to a lot of people, is this gun doesn't have a safety. Really no safety features on this gun. But when you pull it out, you know it's going to work. It's going to function, it's going to fire. But with that being said, it is more expensive. If you want to buy extra magazines, be prepared. They are pricey. But hands down, my favorite gun is a SIG. I own a few of them, and I'm going to buy more. It's just, with these, it's a matter of money. Because these, like I said, they're not cheap. I mean, they are on the pricey side. But you do get what you pay for in this gun. That's why I'm just making this video to show people what I use, what I carry, what I trust my life to. I mean, other people can say what they want. I mean, I hear a lot of people carry Kimbers, but, that's up to them. I mean, you want to spend that much money on a handgun, be my guest. I mean, I've shot Kimbers. I can't really say I can justify the cost of a Kimber for what it is. I just don't get it, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm different than other people, but I don't see where you're gaining a lot more by buying a Kimber, which a lot of people swear by, but they are pricey too. But you can get these used for $500 to $650. I mean, they're in good condition. Typically, if you buy one of these, this isn't going to be a gun that somebody just buys and throws in trashes. I mean, most people that spend the money on these, they take really, really good care of them. And so if you buy a used one, especially if you buy the ones that have gone through the SIG remanufacturing process, to where they go back to the factory and they recondition them. Yes, it's a used gun, but it is up to their factory specs when you get it. And it's going to be just like a regular SIG you'd buy new. So if you're looking for a gun that you know is going to work, it's going to function every time you pull the trigger, this is it. This is, to me, the best handgun in the world. That right now. That's my opinion. And people can take it. People might bash them. But this is what I trust my life to. This is what I carry. And it's just, to me, it's the best handgun out there right now. And yes, they're pricey. But is it worth it? Yes. To me, it is worth it. I'll have this gun till I die. This gun will last me my entire life. I might have to replace the recoil spring in it. I've already had to replace a magazine spring, but that's just because I carry it all the time, so the springs are going to get weaker. But other than that, I don't really see what you're going to have to replace on it. I mean, maybe $30 every 10 years you might have to put into the gun to replace a couple springs on it. Is it worth it? Yeah. But this is what I carry, this is what I trust, and anyone out there that's looking for a high-end quality handgun, give the SIG a look. I mean, I think you're going to be impressed with it. I am. I mean, I know quite a few guys that carry these. I know quite a few people who just... I have a friend that's in law enforcement. They issued him a Glock. He got rid of it. He went out and bought a SIG. I mean, this is what he carries, and he's in law enforcement. He just prefers the SIG over the Glock. Some people swear by Glocks. I don't care for them. I never have cared for Glocks. I don't like them. That's my opinion again. I've never cared for a Glock. I don't like them, and I'll never own a Glock. I mean, I don't care for them. The ones I've shot, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that one, and that's fine. That's my opinion. I don't care for Glock handguns. That's just my opinion. I don't like them. I never have liked them. But I'll put this up against any handgun that's manufactured today. Any handgun in the world that you make, I will put this up against it. And I think this one will come out on top. I believe in them that much. I believe in the reliability factor with them. They just don't fail. That's the most important thing about any gun you're going to buy, especially if you're carrying it and you're buying a gun for protection, or if you have CPL and you want to carry it every day. Will it work? Will it function? Am I going to trust my life when I pull that gun out and I pull that trigger? Is that gun going to fire? This one will. Every time. Every time. My experience, this gun's never failed. Not one time. Ever. So, people out there, if you're serious about a handgun and you don't have a cost barrier for you, and you don't mind spending a little extra, this is the gun I would buy. This is the gun I would recommend. Any of the SIG guns, to be honest with you. Any of them. But to me, I like the 229, 226 I like. But the 229 is my favorite. Out of the SIGs I own, the 229 is my favorite. So, anyone out there is looking, give it a look. Go out, test fire one. See how you like it. Shoot it. That's the ultimate factor in purchasing a gun, is how's it going to perform. This is flawless. In my opinion, it's flawless. You can't get any better than this. So, give it a look. See what you think.